All right, welcome back to another episode of Behind the Blind, brought to you by Tetra Hearing. Find them online at tetrahearing.com. Really appreciate their partnership and everything that they do for us, and excited to have them as a partner on this podcast that we bring you in basically semi-real time with every trip that we do. If you're tuning in for the first time, this is how it works. We go on the road, and not only are we bringing you the content, the hunt that actually happened within 12 hours of fine, polished production from the fine folks at Marathon Media Management, but then we turn around in the evening. It gives you an idea to kind of see what it's like to be in camp with Heartland Waterfowl, and we're turning around a bunch of this content on YouTube. I should also mention that the podcast is available on all of your favorite podcast platforms, with video versions available on YouTube and Spotify. But we're turning this around really quick. Just a few days ago, we were in Oklahoma, and now we're in Kansas with Tornado Alley Waterfowl. Yeah, baby! Some of our favorite people in the world, except for Everett. That's right, I said it, and he earned it today with running his mouth as much as he did. And I say it with love and affection. Anyway, we are going to be here for the next 4 days. We hunted this morning. We got 3 more hunts after that. We've been doing this for years, leading right up to Christmas. So as we record this on December 20th, 2023, our last day of hunting will be on the 23rd. I introduced to you Logan Burditt, Matt Westcoat, and our fine friend from Tristar Arms, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Gus Bader, back on the pod. Yeah. How you living, Gus, man?
I'm living high.
You got to use your microphone there, Purdue.
I'm living high.
See, you act like this is your first time doing this. This is not the first time you've been on the podcast. You've actually, this is your 3rd time. You did it with Tornado Alley last year. You did it down in Texas, and you forgot to use the microphone.
That's correct.
It was probably on a stand last time. In his defense.
Oh, look at Matt bailing you out.
It was.
It probably was.
Matt, I owe you one.
What do you want? A 410, 28 gauge?
You know what? Best 410 on the market. I'll take one.
There you go. Maybe one of those fine over and unders that they have.
28 gauge Trinity. We'd be good with that.
That would be awesome.
Don't be an Everett.
Yeah,
I knew it too. This morning, I knew it. I didn't even have to ask, and I just see the over and under come out. And
Yeah.
I didn't even say anything. Did not want to tickle his fancy this morning.
Yeah.
He was bragging about it a little bit.
Did he even shoot the gun? Did he even shoot?
No, he doesn't know how to pull the trigger.
I know.
But the gun comes out.
Right. Because he thinks it makes him look good, like a professional sportsman shooter.
That's, what's his name?
Charles. When he uses the over and under, we call him Charles. It's a very sophisticated name for a man who shoots an over and under. Anyway, we're moving on. We're moving on. Hey, thanks again for you guys checking this out. We love bringing you guys this content as we're doing it in semi-live real time, and we've got more of these episodes coming throughout the season. Before I go too much further, though, I also want to thank our great friends over at Lacrosse, who are going to do a great giveaway on this trip. Now, I only know of we're doing 2 pairs of boots, and then we're doing a pair of waders. And Troy Ball from Lacrosse, who's joining us in camp, he's actually sitting right over there, is going to join us on this podcast. I don't know if I think it's going to be the day after tomorrow, so we'll get more information on that. But the way that you win is make sure that you subscribe to the Heartland Waterfowl YouTube channel, like on all these videos, be it the podcast or the hunt recaps, and make sure you comment on all that, and that'll get you qualified to win. Yeah.
You look at that one.
Okay, sorry.
Can we get some red lights mounted so we know which camera is active?
The cue's over here kind of pointing at me and pointing the camera. Yeah.
Sorry. So I'm supposed to look at this camera?
That one right there.
It's either this one or this one.
Listen, can we number these 1, 2, and 3, and you can hold up to the sign which one is?
1. So I'm either 1 or 2.
We'll get Everett.
I'm going to look right here.
Hold the signs up.
There you go.
That's all he's good for. He won't stubble blind.
But he can only hold up 1 or 2 because he doesn't have 3 shots.
He doesn't even have 1 shot if he doesn't pull the trigger.
This is so fun.
Yeah, so if you want to watch
podcast ever.
If you want to watch the video debacle of this, check it out on Spotify or YouTube. We're coming to you again from Tornado Alley Waterfowl in their brand new lodge. This place is fantastic, and as much crap as we give Everett, we do got to give him a round of applause.
Unreal.
Because the guy did a hell of a job building the interior of this lodge.
Fantastic.
This is not Chateau de Everett, as we like to call it. It's actually called the Ridge. The other place is still active. They call that the Oak. So now they have 2 lodges here at Tornado Alley Waterfowl. So love to be here. This place is amazing. Let's dive into this. First of all, before we get into today's hunt, Gus, what's going on at Tristar Arms? Anything new and exciting that you can announce? Maybe like the gun that I was shooting today. Can we talk about that? Or where are we at? What's going on with Tristar?
You bet. We introduced the Matrix last year.
Yes.
It's inertia gun.
Is this the first time you've come out with an inertia in all the years that you've been doing shotguns?
That is true.
Wow.
Yeah. We decided it fits perfectly between our 2 semi-autos, between the Viper and the Raptor. And it's really a nice working gun. And as we always cater to the blue-collar worker, to the working man budget, so that gun fits perfectly in that price point.
Well, I started off shooting the Viper G2, which I love that gun. And we've been shooting these guns now in our 3rd season. And I decided when we were in North Dakota, I believe.
Yep.
And I was like, you know what? I want to try the inertia. There's this stigma, for lack of better ways of saying, that the inertia is going to kick harder and it's harder to get on the second bird. You know, those are the things that you hear. And I'd always been a gas guy. And I was like, you know, I'm going to try the inertia, the Matrix. And I freaking love it. Love it. It's and again, all due respect to the Viper G2, love that gun, but I have fallen in love with the Matrix. So what can we tell the people that is maybe something significant about the Matrix as it competes with the other inertia guns in the market?
Just equally as good as any of the major brands that you have on the market for half or third the price. We have put a lot of effort into the reduction of the recoil, because inertia guns by nature, you know, there's no gas to absorb some of that energy, so they kick a little bit more. And so we have a proprietary recoil pad that really takes a lot of that kick, away.
Yeah, I can't tell.
Yeah.
I mean, I really can't. We've been talking about it before we started recording. I think it's pretty common with anybody who's been shooting guns over years. Like when you're shooting at a live animal, your focus is on that, right? So you're not going to notice the recoil. And I don't. I don't have any issue getting on the second bird.
I can tell you we have a recoil measuring device at the factory that you could put and compare one gun versus the other. And there isn't as much difference now with this new recoil pad between the inertia and the gas gun.
Okay.
There's still a little bit difference. You're never going to take it all off, but it's minimal.
Well, I love it. And if anybody wanted to get more information about this particular gun or even be interested in purchasing one, how would you recommend they go about doing that?
Just go on our website and kind of satisfy yourself with the information. Call our customer service department if you have any additional questions, and then go to your dealer and find it.
Fantastic.
It's that simple.
It's a deadly combo when you put the cremator choke tube from Carlson's on there with the Fast Steel Plus from Kent Cartridge. We're very grateful not only to be partnered with you, but all of those other sponsors. And so we are loving that brand new gun, along with the Viper G2, which I know you guys have been shooting, and you still love those guns as well.
Well, I mean, you just get the best of both worlds, right? So you have the guys that like the inertia, and you have the guys that like the gas, or they like a heavier gun or versus a lighter gun.
Yeah.
So, there's pros and cons to each.
Sure.
Both are reliable shotguns. Either way you look at it, it's just personal preference. And, for the longest time, they haven't, offered that. And now they've offered both sides of the spectrum. So it's good to see. And you have that in 20 gauge as well?
Yes, we do. 12 and 20. We had that gun in the lineup probably about 3 years ago, Logan. And, during the COVID years and during the high demand of the guns, it just wasn't the time to introduce it. But at the end of last year, we introduced it, and now we're pushing pretty hard in that direction.
What else is new for 2024 at TriStar? Is it something you can talk about, or are we waiting until show season to unveil any of that new, or should we tease something that there is something new to come out?
We're mostly upgrades.
Okay.
We took the over-under Trinity, and we're now into the, as we call the Viper, when we upgraded from the G1 to the G2, first generation, to the second. We are in the Trinity 2 this year. It's been already announced. We have introduced a whole new line of over-unders called the Cypher series, and it has a steel version and an alloy lightweight version, which is the Cypher X, and then we have a very, very, very competitive sporting clay version of that called the Cypher SP.
Okay.
So those are all new series, if you will, on the as far as the Trinity is upgrade, improvement, but the Cypher and the Cypher SP and the Cypher X are all new series.
Okay. And so a lot of this stuff that you're going to be in, as far as the upgrades are concerned and how people could see those, is during show season, which is about to get underway. Obviously, you got SHOT Show coming up. That's not a consumer show, but you will be at NWTF, which will be in Nashville the middle of February. And so they will have the opportunity to go to these shows and see these upgrades in person, hold them, shoulder them, all of that, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Any other particular shows for anybody across the country that could be watching this, or where?
We, of course, the consumer shows that we do are at the NWTF, and then we go to the NRA.
Okay. Where is that at this year? Where's NRA at this year, Ryan?
Yeah, Ryan will know.
Ryan, where's NRA this year? Is it?
Is he going back?
Indianapolis, you think? Okay. Troy says yes.
Yeah, Troy confirms.
Okay, fantastic. So if you are interested in going to any of those shows and you're in that area, be sure to stop by the TriStar booth, check out all of their guns. And they're more than just shotguns, by the way. You also do offer,
Pistols.
Yes, yes.
Hey, can you talk about that?
Yeah, we've had, let's say, the 1911 mace gun that we have in the Metro Arms series, and that's been a very, very, very successful gun. But we're adding 3 or 4 new pistols this year.
Wow.
Very cool.
We're adding a polymer, high power clone, a couple of lesser expensive 1911s,
Okay.
and a copy of a very compact 1911 in the 9mm version.
Wow. Okay. Dallas is where NRA is. When is that? By the way, you were wrong, Troy.
Troy, yeah. So thank you. Perfect.
Okay, May 16th is what I'm hearing, that the NRA show will be in Dallas. All right, so anyway, go ahead about the pistols.
So I was at NESGW, and I saw the polymer pistol and the 1911. It's like I'll call it like a 3/4, right? It's a single stack, real compact, like conceal and carry pistol. 380. 9mm. But I mean, they're sweet, and the polymers are, I mean, identical to anything else out there polymer wise. That's kind of a big hit right now. A lot of people are going to the polymer side. It's fantastic. And then also the revolvers, right? Not yet. Just kidding. Don't know what you're talking about.
There's no revolvers there. That was a mistake.
Wink,
No
wink,
revolver.
nudge, nudge. Maybe not yet, but maybe sometime
I just
down
wanted
the
you
road.
to come out with a revolver.
Wait.
Ooh.
Oh, Ryan in the gallery says there's a possibility,
gallery.
of
They've
a
discussed.
bolt action rifle that could be coming down somewhere in the bright future for TriStar Arms. That's exciting.
If the consumer will understand that concept, Turkey, where we kind of partnered with and put a lot of effort in creating relationships and have factories that we deal with, used to be very, very strict as a country for production of rifled barrels. okay, whether it was a pistol or a rifle or a 22 or a center fire. And then in the last year and a half, the government kind of took all those constrictions out, and they created an environment whereby you could produce that. So all the factories, you're going to see a big run, big effort coming from Turkish factories on producing all these things. And as we are very well connected for many, many years with many of those factories, we've gone there and laid the ground and been laying the ground because we knew this would be coming on the rifle, on the pistols.
So that's why the new polymer pistol, the small 1911 that I saw.
Correct.
So that's why all of this is kind of happening.
Correct. So now that it's been, the lack of better word, legalized, easier to produce, and you don't need to to create a special permits from the Department of Defense or the Interior Ministry or all that. So you can really count on many innovations coming from Turkey because the factories are now focused on that.
Yeah. That's incredible. Well, that's exciting news. Obviously, that means the business is doing well, regardless of the economy, regardless of your politics, regardless of what's going on. You guys are finding creative and innovative ways to continue to scale, to continue to provide to the consumer. And that just is a testament to what you guys are doing internally. And the thing that I appreciate the most about it is that your mission isn't just to come out with a new gun and try to make as much money as you possibly can. It's about making the right gun for the right person and making sure that you are, bringing the best quality gun that you possibly can at the best. It's the best bang for the buck gun that you can find on the market. Really is. And you really take pride in to be able to provide a quality gun that is going to be significantly less expensive than to something, I'll say, comparable or competitive in the market.
That's why we use the acronym, the Value Experts, and we've done that for a while because we try to make sure that we have an equal quality to any other high-grade, high-price product, but at half or less the price.
Yeah.
And that's who our customer base is. We can't run away from that. We actually cater to that.
Yeah, I love that. I swear we are going to talk about hunting here in just a little bit, and that's going to come up next here. But the other thing that has always been impressive to me and the rest of the guys on our team is your guys' warranty program.
Yeah, we've always kind of catered to that from the very beginning for two reasons. Reason number one is that we want to give the confidence to the consumer that if you give them a 5-year warranty, then they feel very comfortable that, okay, these guys believe in the product and they stand behind the product. And we have an excellent customer service and warranty program. But the second thing was, who is our customer? We understand who is our customer. Like I said, for the most part, it's the blue collar worker, the guy that wants a good working gun at a competitive price. So that guy sometimes may not have several shotguns. He may have just one or two. Or so when you need to take care of the warranty or you need to take care of service, you need to do it quickly and efficiently, and you need to take care of the customer first. So we have given that 5-year warranty, and it's been very, very, very good response from the consumer that, okay, you're going to stand behind your product.
It's awesome. Love it. That aligns very, very well with who we are and what we're trying to do here at Heartland Waterfowl. So we appreciate your partnership, and we're glad to have you and Ryan in camp with us. I know we try to do this once or twice a year to have you guys here. This was actually the first time that Ryan has been able to make it down. And so I know that we've only got you for one more hunt before you've got to go back home and take care of some responsibilities. But then Ryan will be with us for another day after that. And then, as I mentioned earlier, Troy Ball from Lacrosse Footwear is also in camp from Oregon. And we love having him here as well, get to knowing him a little better and what they're doing at Lacrosse. And we're going to dive into that on this podcast here in a few more episodes. So let's dive into today's hunt. It wasn't what we were hoping it would be, but it wasn't necessarily awful either.
Yeah.
Without me asking a question, let me set it up for Logan to take it from there.
It was just a bizarre morning. I don't even know how to describe it. I mean, first off, it's 55, 60 degrees during the day. the low last night was 42 or 43 degrees. So I thought these birds were going to go water to water, and they just went straight to food. They sat there for a long time, and then they kind of just flew around, and it was just awkward. Weird morning. We're supposed to have a lot stronger wind, and I don't want to sit here and say we always
another
complain.
episode of Heartland Waterfowl bitching about the wind.
That had zero to do with it. Absolutely nothing. But long story short, we had a group of 8 gadwalls just eat it up while everyone was taking a nap, pretty much.
Yep, we were not ready for it.
And I think we shot.
We still dumped 7 of them.
Yeah, all but one. And then we had an 8-pack of geese,
and those all fell.
Land at the boot bags, and that was easy money, and that's all she wrote.
Let's not forget about the first light mallard that came in. That Gus,
sorry, Gus. Sorry, Gus.
Crushed it.
Sorry.
Crushed it. He shot the greenhead. I don't know who on the left shot the hen, but we did have a couple mallards at first light.
I'll tell you who we blame that on.
Everett.
No,
he actually pulled the trigger.
I actually think that was one that he shot.
I wouldn't doubt it. He's got an affinity for those hens.
Charles.
When he said it was a bizarre day, I thought he was going to talk about Ben.
That goes right in line with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a bizarre day.
I mean, but
Who's Ben?
Ben's my dog.
Yeah,
one of the two. But
one of the two.
mean, he has
one of the newer ones.
Yeah,
and Ben's a great dog, and I think it's fair to say, and if you are been hunting waterfowl for a while, dogs have bad days too.
Yeah.
And it wasn't that Ben's a bad dog. He's a great dog. He usually does very well, but he was just, for whatever reason, just a little off. There's some birds that he wanted to get and some that he was just a little like, I don't want to get that. Sorry, Dad, but I see it and I hear you saying back, but screw you, I don't want to go get it.
Just not feeling it right.
Yeah,
literally,
just not
he looked
feeling
at me
it.
like,
There was at one
really
point
want me to
he
do
was
that?
like, "No, I'm just going to go get back in my house."
Yeah.
he did.
He did. He went and just got back in his doghouse.
Might be under the weather. Who knows? Might have
hasn't done it
COVID.
for the 2 years I've had him. So, I mean, what do you do, right?
Yeah.
Just one of those days. Tomorrow, all good.
Yeah.
So what are we doing tomorrow?
Yeah. Well, it looks like that we are going to be on a massive honker feed, and it looks like there's both big geese and little geese in this field.
So we don't have the honker feed. We have the goose feed.
Yeah, it is a goose feed.
There's got to be some specs in there too, I'm sure.
There might be. I think I might have heard some. I didn't see any that were in there, but it is big. It is, and the thing that I like about this is that, so we looked at 2 different fields tonight. Both of them were very, very good. One was a little bit more spread out where the geese were down kind of in a valley or in a bowl. And obviously we like to be up on the higher side of the field. On this particular field, all these geese, majority of them, were on the high side of the field. And where we want to hide is exactly on that spot. So when we talk about hunting the X, we are literally, this isn't like kind of close to the X and hoping to pull them 100 yards. Like, we are right in their wheelhouse. We are on the X. So the wind is supposed to be out of the south. I think 9 to 10 miles per hour is what I saw, which probably means 2 to 3.
Yeah. I say that's what it was supposed to be today, was 13 to 15.
Yeah.
And it was.
And it picked up later in the afternoon. But
So typically, if it says 7 to 8 in the morning, that's 0. If it says 10, you're usually like in the clear first thing, right?
For sure.
You have enough to give them like that first goose this morning.
Just didn't know how to do it.
Literally just landed the opposite direction, like we were like facing into the wind.
Yep.
But typically, if the weatherman says, 10 to 13 or 10 to 15, and you start you're going to have something. But this morning was not the case.
No, not at all. And we fortunately, even though we only shot 17 birds total, we did try to combat that early. We erred on the side of caution. We thought we were I think we were pretty confident that the wind would pick up, even though it really didn't. But we went ahead and put a jerk rig out anyway. So we got out the tangle-free jerk rig, and Mojo just came out with this really cool duck butt rippler, basically, but they call it the Mallard Machine, and that thing is badass.
Yeah, it's cool.
And that puts out a lot of motion in your spread. We got one from them, and I want about 6.
It's not over the top either.
No, not at all.
How do you describe it? Like a
so there's a propeller at the bottom, and there's a cage so that it doesn't get tangled up in any of the debris or weeds that are in the water. And it just sucks down up. It just goes up and down, but it's in intervals.
It turns on for 2 seconds, enough to like basically suck the butt down like it's a feeding mallard, obviously. and then create a ripple, and then it stops for 5-10 seconds and does it again.
But the best part about it two things. One is that it's not operated on double A's, which you find at a lot of the ripplers, I'll call. This actually has the battery in it like a spinning wing decoy, and you charge it like a spinning wing decoy, and it's supposed to last, I think I read on the box, about 8 hours.
And a remote.
And it has a remote. Yeah. So for whatever reason you would want to turn it off, maybe just to conserve battery because the birds weren't flying yet, you could literally not have to walk out in the water to turn it off. It has a number 1 setting and a number 2 setting, to where, you can, use the remote and turn it off. And so, yeah, it's incredible. Love it. Love the mallard machine from Mojo. So thank Terry and all the friends over at Mojo for sending that over. But we are not going to be hunting water tomorrow. We are going to be in a field. It's a winter wheat field. And it looks good. I would guess on the low end, probably about 2,000 birds in that field. So
sounds like a winner.
A lot of little geese, some big geese.
Yeah, there are some big geese. But naturally with as many little geese that are in there, I would imagine that we're going to need to throw. I mean, I know that was a conversation that we were having before the guys from Tornado Alley left, but we at Heartland Waterfowl, if we know that we're going to be hunting lessers and we're trying to finish big groups, we want to throw a big spread at them.
Yep. Well, we'll do whatever we got to do.
Yeah.
And then that's another difference tomorrow. Today we hunted layout blinds. Tomorrow we're hunting A-frames.
Well, but not A-frames. We're hunting for the very first time, and thank you, Corey, over at Tangle Free for sending them over. For the first time, we're going to get to use the Tangle Free panel blind, which is really exciting. That thing was awesome. We didn't really know what we were getting into. We've been using the A-frames for years. We're excited to use them, but you're getting a little bit outside your comfort zone when you're using something that you're not accustomed to. And so we were, yesterday trying to kind of put the pieces of the puzzle together. But this thing is awesome with the way you can stubble it. There's great stubble straps on there, and the way it folds up and fits in the trailer is awesome.
The accordion fold.
Yep.
Keeps the grass in, folds up tight. It's nice.
Exactly. And I know Gus is going to greatly appreciate the fact that we're not in layout blinds tomorrow. Isn't that right?
You got it.
Yeah.
You reached my age and you can't pop out that quickly.
Bro, you had no worries. You had no problems whatsoever being one of the first out of the blind when it was time to pull the trigger. I did notice that. I know you had a little help. You had a little pillow back there.
He's not wrong.
You're
He had
quick.
an ejector seat.
No doubt. No doubt.
He was the first one out of the blind to shoot that mallard this morning.
For sure.
Like he hadn't shot a duck all year long. And he hunts more than anyone in this room.
Probably. Yeah.
Bar none.
Yeah. How many times would you say you...
It's a shot.
Yeah. So he's already up. Kill him. Bang.
Yeah. How many days have you hunted this year?
Yeah.
Oh, God, I don't know.
Take a guess.
50?
50 days. Wow.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
If I could just own a shotgun company, maybe I could.
Well, they send me out on all these product testing.
Oh, that's what it is. That's what it is.
He had to go to Saskatchewan twice for product testing.
Yeah.
Fortunately, we get to hear the other side of that story when Ryan Bader gets to be on the podcast tomorrow. Anyway, I don't know. Is there anything else you guys want to add to this before we let everyone go and come back tomorrow night with what's going on with tomorrow's time?
No, thanks for the great job you guys are doing. And
thank you.
Thank you for inviting us on these hunts and letting us expose ourselves as product-wise to the consumers that watch you and the followers of Heartland Waterfowl.
Well, I hope that we get to do that. I mean, I was talking to Troy about this last night. As you're thanking us, I want to, take this opportunity. I didn't really premeditate this, but since you brought it up, I want to thank everybody who watches this because this thing has really exploded in the last year. We have received 29.9 thousand subscribers to this channel in 2023 as we get to approaching the end, and it's still growing. I mean, this is just something that came through last week.
Not 30.
Well, it could be 30 by now. It could be 30 by now.
That's
but
not a 5-pound bass. That's a 4.
We're looking for at least 100 more people so we can break 30.
Right. Well, I'm hoping that we did that. But as of last week, when the email came through, that's a lot of subscribers. There's a ton of view time. So thank you guys for appreciating what we do. This is not for us. This is for you. We want to be able to bring you content as quickly as we possibly can. Back in the old TV days, it was us go out and film it in the fall and the winter, and then you would have to wait until July to see it on the TV network. And so we are still doing that, and we are still on Sportsman's Channel, but we wanted to find an innovative and aggressive approach to bringing you content as quickly as possible. So not only you get to see a polished production with the hunts, but you got to kind of hang out with us in camp and hear us have shoot the bull and have a good time. So
give everybody a hard time.
Give Everett a hard time for sure.
Give everybody a hard time day.
So, Gus, I know that you're going to hunt with us tomorrow, but we won't be able to have you on the pod. Ryan will be on tomorrow, but thank you for being here. We really appreciate everything that you do for us. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
And if we don't get them tomorrow, it's about to chalk up that you might be a little bad
problem.
luck.
Yeah. Because
last time in Texas,
that's how he said,
he did come down to Tornado Alley.
3 is a pattern.
Yes.
Tomorrow's a big day for you guys.
We had a great goose hunt in February last year.
Oh, that's right.
True.
We did. Okay. Well, tomorrow's a big day.
We're going to get him. We're going to get him tomorrow. So before we let you go, again, reminder that you can win that lacrosse package, the 2 pairs of boots. There's the 1200, and then there's I don't know, he might have walked away, but there's 2 pairs of boots. There's a lightweight and then a heavier weight, and then there's
Alpha Burley Pro.
The Alpha Burley, exactly, with the Typha pattern from First Light, and then we're giving you the Alpha Agility waders. And the only way that you can win those is by making sure that you subscribe to the Heartland Waterfowl YouTube channel, like on all these videos, comment on all these videos. We'll pick a winner at random at the end of our trip here with Tornado Alley in Kansas. So as we wrap this up, for Logan Burditt, Matt Westcoat, and Gus Bader from Tristar Arms, I'm Ronnie Philips. Be back here tomorrow as we bring you another episode of Behind the Blind, brought to you by Tetra Hearing. Find them online, all their cool things that are happening at tetrahearing.com. Peace out.